Hello, I am Lise Colucci, and I'm one of the life coaches at Queen Being, where we help you to discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. Hello there, and today I'm having a very short live stream where I will answer your questions if you have any, or just kind of wanted to talk today about what happens when you tell the narcissist that they are abusive. Is this a good idea? Is it ever a good idea? Does it work? What is it that you need from that? And do you get what you need? So let's just going off the cuff here, no notes today. So here we go. Somebody asked me, what should they tell the narcissist? Would it help get them closure? Um, Someone was looking for closure, was looking to express what they feel, and hoping that the narcissistic person would, I don't know what they were hoping, but here's what they got. Okay, here we go. Um, Hello, Chantal. 6 breakups in 7 months. How do I know if I'm dealing with a narcissist? Tell me a little bit about what you're seeing in the relationship other than the breakups. Tell me a little bit about what you're seeing and what you're feeling, and we'll go from there. So, okay, back to the topic, which is it ever a good idea to let them know what you are? Let them know what they are, right? So, no. The answer is no. What will happen is you will maybe express that you feel abused. You feel hurt. You feel like things were lies. You feel like the life you had led with them wasn't really what you thought it was. You might tell them things in hoping that it will actually get them to see what it is they did to you, and to actually have some conversation about it or an apology or something. I don't know. We all look for different things. But what happens is there's an instant flip most of the time. Most of the time, the narcissist goes into a complete reaction of narcissistic injury and will call you crazy. So within 3 minutes of a conversation or less, you will be the crazy one. You're crazy for the way you feel, you're crazy for the way you think. Nothing that you say or wrote or whatever will be read or heard as legitimate, and everything will be excused away as you being out of your mind. That none of it was real. How dare you accuse them of being an abuser? They did nothing but good for your life. They tried hard to be a good partner, so on, so forth. And this can go on and on. Then what can happen is they will start smearing you with the fact that you are crazy. You're the crazy one, right? So that's one scenario. I'm sorry, but it's true. Um, Another scenario might be they go into a rage, and they go into a narcissistic rage, and they start attacking back, saying all the things about you that were abusive and projecting back onto you all the abuse. So basically, if you're hearing what I'm saying, the closure never comes, and the feeling of being heard never happens. In fact, it makes it worse because it proves, well, it doesn't prove anything except that they are toxic, right? Because a healthy person, if accused of something, says, "Whoa, wait a minute, what did I do?" Or "How is that? How do you see that?" They go into it, they engage, they want to know, even if they're feeling um, like you're making an accusation that isn't true. But it's across the board. They call us crazy, okay? And that's where we get dubbed the crazy ex-girlfriend for the new supply. And they can even show proof if you've written it down. Look, look at all this stuff she said about me. That is insane. I am such a nice person. How could after all I've done, she say these things. So one lesson is beware anyone who says their ex is crazy, and the other one is if you don't want to be the crazy one, so to speak, don't tell the narcissist what you think they are or what you know they are. It doesn't do any good. It's not going to help you. It's not going to change the situation. Another thing they might do is come after you in a smear campaign in other ways to discredit you, because if they fear that you're going to then spread that information to other people that they are a toxic person or that they were abusive, then they have to kind of do it first so that your credibility is lower. They try to lower your credibility with people around you, especially if you're in a community where you maybe share employment or have shared friends or shared social situations. They will definitely try to smear you so that they do not, so that they, it's like, preemptively smear you so that you look like you're totally crazy, right? And therefore, anything you say is not credible. So I would say no, it's never a good idea to tell them, okay, it's not never a good idea. It's never going to give you the results you might want. Unless the only result you want is just to say the thing and be done with it, and you can write that letter, say whatever you need to say, and then block them instantly. And for some people that's good, and for other people that's also not good. So it's better just to leave it be and walk away, knowing that what you know is your truth, and their truth is nothing but a bunch of made up projections and lies. And they create the world they want to see and pretend that they're that thing. Okay, so they are not seeing reality for what it is. They're the ones who are crazy and delusional in this situation, in this type of, wouldn't say they're crazy, they're delusional in this scenario, right? They're pretending or lying about the fact that they were harmful to you, and they will never admit it. So, okay, I'm going to read. This is a long thing from Chantel. The relationship moved very fast in the beginning. I now understand some of it sounded like love bombing. He was in love in the first week. Oh boy, yeah. And he started being extremely insecure, especially about other males. Explosive anger, insecurity, hypersensitivity about anything. Sounding like a covert, really. I could think he was fine and he'd go home and not speak to me for days, and I had no idea what I'd done wrong. Definitely put up with a lot of silent treatment, multiple breakups where he was always crawling back. Uh-huh. Before I knew about narcissism, but had discovered teenage porn, decades of lying. Oh, he discovered, okay. You discovered that he had been looking at teenage porn. Okay. Decades of lying, sex addiction, but I was discovering about emotional abuse and told him in an argument that he was abusive. He laughed. There's the other thing. They laugh. They'll mock you. So back to the first topic, they'll mock you. They'll mock you. If you tell them what you feel and what you are actually experiencing and what the truth of your life was, they'll mock you. It's not pleasant. Okay. Hi, Mara. So let's see. Crystal Jean's also saying my face. He laughed in my face and made fun of me in front of my son. Yeah. It's terrible. It's terrible. Okay. Yeah. It sounds like you're dealing with a toxic person. I can't diagnose them, but those are all definite signs of an abusive relationship. Most likely, narcissism is involved. I mean, I obviously can't diagnose him, and you know better than anyone what you're living through. So write down the abuses like you're doing here for yourself and keep them separate from anything else so that you can look at it really clearly. And as you look at it really clearly, just start watching some videos on the topics you're seeing. What is gaslighting like? What is this silent treatment like? And you will feel this familiar pull to, oh my gosh, that is what I lived through. Thank God somebody else knows what it is, because it feels really lonely otherwise and confusing. So I would say anything that you've broken up with 7 times is probably not good for your life, right? So are you able to stay away now? Or are you back in trying to figure it out? Yeah, this is Lauren says, my story is so horrible, I could go word for word with you. And that smile. You know what the smile's about, right? I'm not laughing at anything. If I don't smile, I will scream. No, not really. But there was a time. So, Chantel, that sounds like my relationship 20 years ago. Get out now, darling. It gets worse and more difficult to leave. It really does. Chantel says, I've been trying to figure it out. I don't know whether it is. It ain't healthy. If it ain't healthy, if it's toxic, it's toxic. Okay. We don't need a label. All we need to know is it's not healthy for your life. That's all you need. That you deserve to live the life that you want to live. You deserve to live a life that is, free of this toxicity and beneficial to yourself. You don't need to live a life to please someone else and to become someone else's emotional punching bag or literal punching bag. There's like, my puppy is shedding. I always get the puppy flip. Sorry. The smile is diabolical. Yeah, I'm really nice. It's true though. Okay. So, anything else about this topic? And Crystal, does that help you at all? Or do you have other questions about it? I think you're dealing with someone highly toxic, and I think that those are uh, indications that you, or rather, the things you described are definitely things a narcissist does do. It sounds with the crawling back and the playing the victim tends to be. Make fix this. Hang on. Come on, stop being blurry. Why does it do that? It just does this weird autofocus. Okay. With the crawling back and the playing victim or playing, pity, poor me. I did go watch my video on the pity ploy. That's what that is. That is like a covert tactic. And covert narcissists tend to use that to keep supply in their life. And they'll even use it on the next what they'll do in a breakup is they will become very, you know, they'll become very, very passive and very not apologetic, but well, you feel pity for them. They play on your empathy, okay? And if it doesn't work on you, they're out doing it to someone else. And what they do when they seek new supply. So if you're out there looking for someone to date and they have just recently split up with someone, or you think they might be, and they are playing the poor me card, run. That is not an okay place to be. To me, that's a number one red flag of a covert narcissist on the prowl, is playing the I'm all alone, poor me. I really, even if they say I really messed up, whatever it is, there's something going on there. Hello, Jack Lumen. Anyway, that's that for that, and I hope that helped, Crystal. Or Chantel, sorry, you were the one who asked that. I've been trying to figure. Okay, there we go. Anything else today? Oh, here we go. Mara, judge did not grant the long-term PFA, but gave daughter's dad stern warning. Oh, that's so powerful, right? She said it was not a custody case. It was not of a custody case, more of a custody case than PFA. Her warning to him was validating, though. Oh, good. Hopefully it helped. I hope it helped. I wish they would take it more seriously and see that we're not playing around, that there's a reason that we're trying to get protective orders. There's a reason we're trying to keep emotionally abusive people away from ourselves and our children. I wish they'd take it more seriously. I'm hoping someday they do. Nick, hello. If a covert narcissist can't love, what does a newborn child become? Become a mother besides a trophy symbol. Become to a mother? Oh, I think they feel the same, not the same. They feel something. They feel a bond that is like that's theirs. They become a piece of themselves. Usually, a child is to a narcissist is an extension of self. So it's where a spouse or a partner is more like a trophy or like something, arm candy or whatever to a narcissistic person, and something to idealize and objectify. A child can be a trophy as well, but it is more like an extension of self. So they're basically stealing the child's childhood by projecting self onto that child continually. Does that make sense? The child is an accessory to them. The child is an accessory to them, and it's also a piece of them. We all feel like our children are a piece of us. That's not a bad thing, you know what I'm saying? But it's like there's no space for that child to be who they are. The child has to be what the parent is projecting onto them. So they really attach that onto the child and don't let the child be a real person. And in turn, usually either create the golden child or the scapegoat, and both are equally owned by a narcissist because both have a role in the narcissist's little web they spin. Okay. Revealing the abuse to the narcissist, the abuse of a parent to the narcissistic parent, or the abuse, anything, revealing it at all. Like if you reveal the fact, I think you missed the beginning maybe, but if you reveal to a narcissist that who they are, like if you say to them, what you did was gaslighting and that's abuse. They're not going to say, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have gaslighted you. They're going to say, what are you talking about? You're crazy. if you would just speak clearly, or if you would just this, or if you would just that, I wouldn't have to that. There's no, what I'm saying is don't do it. Don't even give them the benefit. Don't even give them the, um, any power in it. So, uh, Lauren says he has that smug smirk. It's evil monster. I have been living with the devil himself. I did not know about narcissism until a year and a half, 2 years ago. And now it's like, oh my God, my eyes were opened. And are you able to escape this, or where are you at with it? Um, I nailed the child description. Hello, me, mine, and Kira. La, 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 la. They will sometimes bounce it back on you. Exactly. They will project it back on you. They'll bounce it back on you. They'll throw it back at you. They call you crazy. All the stuff I said in the beginning is what they do. It's not going to give you an ounce of satisfaction, or an ounce of closure, or an ounce of feeling heard. It's just going to create more. In fact, it can lend to trauma bonds, because what it can do is create drama that then goes back and forth for a while with the narcissist about, how they are too. No, you're not. Yes, I am. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. You don't need the drama. Just get out and get away. Nick says, please, what days of the month, week do you have these live chats? Just listening to you helps so much. Nick, I try to come on Tuesday and Thursday. I have scheduling stuff. So I try to be here. I can't give an actual time right now. I tried that and I was failing. So I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to let anyone down. What I'd rather do is say Tuesday and Thursday for now. I will do my best to do morning to afternoon sometime on Tuesdays, and morning to afternoon sometime on Thursdays, Pacific time. So I'm gonna try to be on by 12:30 or 1:30 like I did today. This is a little late for me, but on those days, and just see how that works for now. I think more people are available in the early afternoon, so that helps. But I'm going to try for that. And when I get it nailed down, I'll announce it. Okay, Nick. And you can make sure you're subscribed and that you hit the button for getting announcements, so it alerts you, or rather for getting alerts, so it alerts you. And I think that's it. I'm going to try to do 3 days a week, but I don't know what the third day is. I sometimes do Mondays as well, and sometimes do Fridays as well. It just depends on the time I have in the day, and what clients' needs are. So that's the way it is for right now. I'm glad it helps you though. Let's see. It was always pity him out of nowhere, discards, crawling back, never feeling stable, secure with him, silent treatment, always catching him flirting or checking out girls. Yep. That pity thing, I just did a whole video on the pity ploy. If you haven't seen it, it's just a Hoover, guys. That's all it is. They don't actually need your pity. They need your supply. That's all they're after. Just keep that in mind when you see it. It is the ugliest thing you've ever seen. Okay. Or they could say, okay, I'll go to therapy if you stay, but they won't change. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If they do admit, oh, yeah, that's true. So sometimes when we let them know what we believe and what we feel and what's going on, they will actually own it. They'll say, oh, you're right. I did these things. This is kind of rare, but some of them do. And they'll say, I'll get help. I'll get help. I'm so sorry. Don't leave me. I'll get help. Well, so of course you stick around because, you're a committed, devoted, and kind, loving person. They're not going to get help. If they're displaying no empathy or very limited empathy, and many of the other signs of narcissistic abuse, like gaslighting, projection, silent treatment, all the stuff we talk about, if they're doing that to you and they're being abusive, they can go get help all they want. And they can go prove it to someone else, honestly, or they can go get the help outside of your home and just go and get their help, whatever they need to do. But it's not gonna change them. Someone without empathy can't change. It's a sad fact. And I actually feel, a bit of sadness for them because they can't change. With how much they hurt people, my sadness wanes fast, but it is a tragic thing that someone cannot change. I can't fathom it, but to be that way, but it's like they literally can't. So there you go. Um, Trauma bond is exactly what? Okay, trauma bond is the bond that you feel toward the narcissistic person where it feels like you can't live without them, you love them, it feels like love for them and fear of them at the same time. It feels like being, excuse me, when someone says they know all this stuff happened, they know about this abuse, and then they say, "But I love him so much," or "I love her so much." That's trauma bonds talking. It's the bonds that happen due to repeated abuse. What happens when you have love bombing and devaluing going on in a cycle is it creates a pattern in the brain that seeks out the love bombing after a devaluing. So when you have a discard, it seeks out the Hoover. Okay, and it just goes on, and it's a pattern created from abuse, and it's a real thing, and it's a trauma bond. Okay, does that help at all? I think there's lots of videos on trauma bonds, but I should do another one right soon. Let's see. You guys are chatty today, and I love it. Let's see. Okay. Love bombs, smear campaign. Okay, I'm sorry. This is where I freeze up and start reading. Yeah. Oh, here's another one. Crystal Jean saying that we went to therapy so many times. Changes are only temporary. It's only a pity play in therapy too. The changes that are temporary. Someone described it really well to me. I had a client describe it really well. How did she word it? Oh my gosh, she had the best description, and I can't remember it right now. But it was basically like the skin changed. It was the taking off of one mask and putting on of another. That then it was like just changing. It was like upping the game, leveling up, where, okay, so this is what she wants me not to do. And I got in trouble in therapy for this. So I'm going to change it to this. It's the same damn behavior. It's just got a different look. Rebranding. That's what she called it. Rebranding the abuse. So that's what they do in therapy. They learn to rebrand their abuse. And that's what they use on you. So if you are over the age of, I'd say 40, and you are out there looking for people, and you meet someone, they have been rebranded several times. That's the problem with the aging narc, who is especially a covert. Coverts are really good at this rebranding, is they actually learn from their mistakes. They have what I call their own moral compass, where a lot of them will be extremely like fixed about their own beliefs of who they are. Does that make sense? So like they wear this mask tight. This is who I am. There's no actual inner change. It's the exterior that they're changing. And so they want everyone to see them as they want everyone to see them. Does that make sense? And when it doesn't work, or they have a breakup or whatever, they take what they learned and they rebrand it and make it look a little bit differently. And then that's what they put out there. So if you've got like multitudes of rebranding going on, that's a smart narc who's learned how to move through life and get what they want. All right. And that's what therapy does for them almost always. So here we go. Okay. People tell me it's because of the trauma bond I can't go no contact. And child. You have a child together? Is that what you're saying? So is that what you're saying, Nick? Is you have a child together? So the trauma bond, I'm going to rephrase this for you. Just hear me out here. People tell me it's because of the trauma bond that I can't go no contact. Let's reword that. Because of the trauma bond, going no contact feels very difficult. Okay, let's put it that way. There's no such thing as can't here. You totally can. You totally can. A lot of us have. Most of us have. Okay, it's painful. Yes. It's difficult. Yes. It's an addiction. It's an addiction to these narcissistic people because the cycle is very addictive in the brain. It literally changes your brain chemistry. And so you got to rework that brain chemistry and let it be uncomfortable in order to get over and past that part. Okay. And you can get past it. And there's all kinds of videos with tips on it. I have an article on some things to do to help. It's all kinds of things, or we could talk more here, but excuse me. And I'm just going to let you know I've got like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. I'll be 10 minutes, 10 minutes left. So anything else, just keep piling the questions and I'll keep talking for the next 10 minutes. But anyway, breaking those trauma bonds is probably one of the hardest parts. And every time you have exposure to the narcissistic person, it re-triggers the trauma bonds. Okay. It re-fires the brain to back into the cycle. All it can take is looking at a photograph. I mean, it really is it's real. Okay. So do your best to clear your space of the narcissistic person. Put the photographs away, do whatever you need to do. I don't even care if there's a picture of your kid in it, get rid of the picture, of your kid and the narc, just get rid of the pictures for a while or forever, but get rid of them for a while, get them out of your space, rearrange your furniture or whatever you need to do so it doesn't look like the space they lived in. Keep yourself as separate from them as possible and start creating your own life. That's the things that help get past trauma bonds. Otherwise, we're just sitting there, just spinning in loops over this person that is so toxic, they don't belong in our life anyway. Like a withdrawal without her because I've isolated to the point of weak with no contact or anyone besides her. So yeah, so getting some contact with people, getting in support groups or like you're doing here, which is great so that you don't feel so alone. And finding things that you like for yourself in your day, like take a walk, get outside, get around people. You don't have to have long exchanges. I mean, even just a smile and a hello can help. Just to realize that there's life out there besides this crazy making in your head that's going on from this, breaking these trauma bonds. So hope that helps a little. Let's see. Thank you for articulating what I was thinking in regards to Nick's situation. You're welcome. Lauren says, but I am his power supply. I haven't been with him over 3 years and he's on the road. I still rented the house. He came back. I didn't get out in time and I found out about narcs a few months after he was back. Okay, yeah. So what's going on now with it? I don't have any questions yet. I'm still seeking to understand the questions. Did I miss one? Let's see. I think I missed some stuff here. I think I jumped around. If I missed your question, please repeat it because when I scroll back, I just sit and stare. I'm not speedy like Angie. I get lost in the words. Okay, I'm working on it. Here, let's screwdriver. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right now, I'm unpacking some grief and isolation my older narc aunt has experienced in the wake of my uncle's death. I feel weird. I don't think dad or mom understand. In what way do you feel weird, Jack Lumen? And Lauren, yes, please keep talking. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to scroll back for your name to see what else was going on. But as I said, I just stare when I do that. Okay. Help. He's very, word you say, I'm in the middle of trying to pack, but it's too much. He's even has the police convinced I'm crazy too. He's mentally and physically and emotionally abusive. And he even has a girlfriend. Have you contacted a crisis center, a women's abuse crisis, abuse shelter or anything for some help? A lot of times there's people there that can help you through this and help walk you through it, give you a safe place to go if you need it, give you information about how to speak to the police, how to speak to other people in a way that gets yourself heard, because he can convince people all he wants. Police are pretty black and white. They see the situation. They can sometimes they believe it. It's hard to know. At least I don't know how Angie does it. She's just, well, number one, I should probably have glasses on so I'm not squinting at the screen. Okay. And she's awesome. That's how she does it. She's just awesome. Okay. I guess it's weird. I'm trying to explain narcissism and toxic behavior from everywhere in the extended family to my own toxic parents. Oh, you're trying to explain it to them. You know what, Jack Lumen? To people who are toxic, I wouldn't explain anything. I would just gray rock them and not be around them as much as possible. And to people who don't want to hear it, you can't make them hear it. So you can be kind of creating your own little cycle of not feeling heard if you are trying to get people to understand. People just don't unless they're willing or ready. Let's see. Let me going back here to Lauren. So yeah, I would see if you can find a shelter or somewhere if he's around. If he's not around, what is keeping you from packing and moving? What's happening? You said it's too much. I'm getting a sense, but I'm not getting a sense of how to help you here. So Lauren, let me know what's going on. What can I help you with in the next? I only have 5 minutes, and then I gotta go get my kids. So let me know what I can do to help, or what you need to help you feel like it's not too much, so that you can get out. Sometimes when we say it's too much, what we mean is we're overwhelmed. If that's what you're meaning, I'll just go with that. I'm overwhelmed. I'm trying to pack. I'm trying to leave. He's gone. I've got an hour. I've got to hurry up and get out of here. Okay, so make piles. Keep who cares. Keep who cares. Keep who cares. Just chuck stuff into piles. Okay. Get some boxes if you have them, or bags, grocery bags, whatever, big trash bags. Shove the keep pile in a trash bag. Leave the pile that you don't want. Who cares if it's in a pile? You don't want it. Just go through everything like that. Keep, don't want it. Keep, don't care. And don't let yourself get overwhelmed. Don't sort, don't anything. Just make piles, stick those piles in bags, throw the bags by the door. And when you're done with that, throw all the bags in the car and get out of there. Does that make sense? He will never let me go. I don't think he will kill me. Yes, he's been down that road so many times, but they won't but they won't take me. I have companion dogs, 2 small Pomeranians and cats. So you've got animals and you can't get out. But you're packing. So you need to get him out is what you're saying. I would still try to talk to someone there and ask, what do you do in this situation? How do you get out? Just because he won't kill you doesn't mean you shouldn't you should be there. We need to get ourselves out of these situations, so finding a way out. Maybe to have a friend take your animals. Maybe putting, if you have the ability to take some time, maybe seeking roommates out who don't mind pets, and finding a place to go that you can afford in that way, as cheap as you can, just to get yourself out of there for a while. If you don't have friends that you can do that with. If there's a bigger city near you, there might be more options for things like that, or a college near you, that might be more options for things like roommate situations where you can just get out and where pets would be okay. A family member that can take your pets for a short time, a friend. I'll keep thinking. Let's see. He owns the town and friends and won't allow that. No family. How far are you from a bigger city? Could you get out to somewhere bigger and farther away? Nick says, so with AA, they exchange numbers for support. Would anyone else be willing? Well, we don't really do that here, or encourage it, because we can't protect you from who you're exchanging numbers with or who you're speaking to, right? So to keep you safe and to keep everybody safe, we don't really encourage that kind of thing. So I would say get in a support group like SPAN, or come on here as much as you can. I will try to be back Thursday. If I can tomorrow, I will, but I can't promise that because it's kind of busy. But yeah, excuse me, there is coaching. Oh, there we go. There is coaching available if you can do that. So you can contact me for that if you want it. We also have group coaching if that's more affordable for you, where I have a trauma bond group that is pretty small, but it's going right now, and a group on boundaries, which can help too. So you learn how to set boundaries, and a self-care group, which is also a great little group. So those are going on. Those meet in the evenings. They are $60 for a month. So it's a month once a week of meetings, and that's what it costs. And so it's like 15 a week or a little less, depending if there's 4 or 5 weeks in a month. And that is that for that. So that might help you in ways. And then, like I said, a free option is SPAN, or Spanily Home is not free, but it's a lower cost. So there we go. Do you think it's possible we switch roles with the narcissist? You have great questions, Nick. No, we don't switch roles, but we do have something called reactive abuse, which means we start acting out toward them the way they treat us. And it can make us feel like we are the toxic one. If you have empathy, you are not a narcissist. Okay. You may have narcissistic traits or narcissistic fleas. I don't know. I don't know yet, but if you have empathy intact, if you feel for other people and you can feel the hurt that you caused to someone when and have remorse and actually want to change that about yourself, then you can pretty much say, okay, I'm not a narcissist, but I got stuff to work on. We all have stuff to work on. Okay. We go through so much pain and seeking validation from them again in the love bombing stage, and we get so upset we can't reach their marks. So they start calling us the narcissist. That's right. And they do. And that's called them projecting. And let's see. Jacqueline was talking about narc fleas, switching roles, and reactive abuse kind of all go hand in hand there. He took everything away from me, no family at all past, it's bigger. But anyone who we used to know, I'm 53, but no one will talk to me and no one will have. Okay, and you tried a crisis center and they won't help you? Is that what you're saying because of the pets? It sounds like you need some one-on-one help there. Like you actually need someone in person to talk to. No one will have anything to do with you because you're his girl. Okay. I would look in a neighboring town if I were you and ask in those places. And I understand with the pets, but sometimes we have to do what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? To get out. So finding other alternatives for your animals so that you can get you out and then get them back. Does that make sense? Like finding something safe for them. So, because right now you got to get out, right? You got to get yourself to safety. Nick says, I feel bad and even apologize for the things I said, even though it was infidelity, lies, infidelity, deceitful behavior, and undermining gaslighting. Yep. That's what we do. That's part of the conditioning, Nick. It's part of how they make us, that's part of how they manipulate it. Because, okay, so when you are a person who's in a relationship with a narcissist, you tend to be someone, if you stay long enough, I mean, if you are someone who stays, you tend to be someone who is more of a person who attaches anxiously to people. And when we attach anxious, and you probably have some level of PTSD, and there's a fight, flight, and freeze response. There's also fawn. And what you're talking about there is fawning. That's an anxiety response. That's a PTSD response to a toxic situation. When we're fawning and apologizing for something we didn't do, that's part of fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Okay, so that's something you can look up and try to understand about yourself, that it isn't your fault. You're just in reaction, and that's a reaction. In the smear campaign, trying to set my name straight, I did a Facebook Live and exposed her to all of her seed. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we started with, and it backfired on you. That's what we're coming back to the beginning here. I have to go, and let's come back to the beginning here with ending with Nick's comment. In the smear campaign, trying to set my name straight, I did a Facebook Live and exposed her to all of her family by proof of voice recordings and videos, and it kind of backfired on me. That's exactly what we started with, and that's what we're going to end with. It will backfire on you. Just keep yourself safe. Stay as low contact as you can. The only information you need is the information about your child. Get that in your head. That's all you need. Nothing about her. You have to break the obsession or the fixation or the trauma bonds with wanting to know anything about her life. The only thing that matters is your child and you. She doesn't matter anymore. She has lost the right to matter because of the abuse she gave you. Okay. And you guys, I can see there's other people talking here, and I love it because I like the active chat today. Thank you so much. I have to go though, because I have to go pick up a kid. So I don't think they want to sit at school anymore. So I will try to be on sooner than later. And info for the groups, go to, you can email me, Coach Lise C, CoachLisec @gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook under my name, Lise Colucci, Colucci, and my first name is Lise. And I will put it in the links below. I will put, or in the comment, in the description, I will put later on, but it'll be later on today. I'll put links to the groups. If you go back, I think most of the live streams have it. It's on Life Makeover Academy, but you kind of have to look for it on there. So it's easier if I just put the links for you, but there it is. And I gave you the information to contact me. I can email you the info too if that's needed. And I'll get it up, but it'll be a little bit. So you take care, you guys. Lauren, you keep yourself safe and start trying to think of ways, if you can, to places for your animals so that you can get yourself into a shelter if you need to, and so that you can get yourself out so that you can start taking care of your life so that you can create a happy life for yourself. Okay. You don't need to feel stuck. You need to like find ways to move forward. And I know it's really, really difficult and it feels impossible. But I'm sorry, I would talk longer, but I can't. So, okay. All right. Take care, you guys. And as always, I wish you well on your healing. And I look forward to talking to you next time. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And I will see you later. Goodbye.